I'd feel a knowing, right? That God put this dream on my heart for a reason. And sometimes when we have that knowing, right, it doesn't make sense. We can look around us and say, okay, but I have no money left. I keep getting told by all these experts I'm putting on a pedestal that I don't have what it takes, right? And I'm seeing these no's everywhere. But when you get still and you pray and you listen, you'll get a knowing. You'll get a knowing if you're supposed to keep going. Hey, Praise YouTube audience. I'm Jamie Kern Lima, founder of It Cosmetics and author of the book Believe It. And, I'm just inspired to share with you just some words of encouragement, but also if you're going through a season of rejection right now, or a season of setbacks, or a season where you feel like maybe you feel like God's put a dream on your heart or an idea that you have, right? Maybe you're going to write a book or start a podcast, or you're going to switch careers, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to launch something into the world, or maybe it's just something in your personal life and you just feel like you're going through this time where doors are closing or things just aren't going your way. I want to talk about this idea of the no and the knowing. And here's what I mean by that. In my journey, a lot of times people say like, oh, you built this billion-dollar company, and did you just work really hard, or did you all the things? And really, my whole journey was packed with people telling me no, and so many setbacks and sometimes seasons of setbacks where it just felt like there was never going to be a way. And when I look back at like, how did I make it through? How did I keep going? How did I know that dream I felt on my heart was something that was real, right? Because sometimes God gives us a dream or an idea or something on our heart. And we're like, okay, I'm feeling like this is a message from you, right? I'm feeling like this is from you, God. But if it is, why is nothing going right? Like, why am I getting rejected everywhere? Like, am I hearing you wrong? Is this really not from you, right? And that was so much of my journey. And what I want to share with you and encourage you today to do is to distinguish the no, or the rejection, the setback, the closed door, the person who tells you you're not enough. Sometimes it's us looking ourselves in the mirror and saying we're not enough. Distinguish that no from the knowing, right? And what I mean by that is, when I think about my journey of building It Cosmetics, for example, there were years where I had this feeling, right? I would call it a knowing. I believe it came from God. I felt like we were supposed to be on QVC or in the big department stores, but they all kept telling me no. And there were so many times when I was almost out of business, almost bankrupt. And there were moments where I got another painful no, another big rejection. And sometimes these no's weren't like, oh, no, Jamie, not now, maybe later. They were like, no, you'll never be in our stores, right? Really direct no's. Every time those would happen, right, I would pray, I would get still about it, and I would feel a knowing that I was supposed to keep going. I'd feel a knowing, right, that God put this dream on my heart for a reason. And sometimes when we have that knowing, right, it doesn't make sense. We can look around us and say, okay, but I have no money left. I keep getting told by all these experts I'm putting on a pedestal that I don't have what it takes, right? And I'm seeing these no's everywhere. But when you get still and you pray and you listen, you'll get a knowing. You'll get a knowing if you're supposed to keep going, right? And I'm not talking about the things we think in our heads or the input from friends or family or the people around us, right? Like, turn all of that down, turn the volume down on all of that, and tune in to that still small voice, that knowing that tells you like, if you're supposed to keep going, if God put that dream on your heart for a reason, right? When I look back and I look at how for years I couldn't afford to hire anyone in my company and didn't know if we were going to make it. And we eventually hired over 1,000 people, and all the things that are just God-sized dreams that came true. When I look back, it really was a journey where I didn't have the right connections, right? But I had the right connection. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anything about the beauty industry. I didn't know any of that, but I just had that feeling, that knowing I was supposed to keep going. And I believe in life that, we might be getting rejected. We might feel discouragement all around us. But when you get still and you hear a knowing from him, that's what you have to listen to, right? That's what you have to listen to. And sometimes, when God gives you a dream or a vision on your heart, He doesn't give it to everyone around you. So there's going to be times where it's just you trusting in Him and that feeling, that knowing that you have. I just want to encourage you today, especially if you're in that time or season of setback or things just aren't going your way. I just want to remind you, turn the volume down on the nose, right? Turn the volume down on the nose, get still, pray, and turn the volume up on your knowing, because that comes from Him, right? And that's where your steps are ordered into the calling that He has for you on your life.
At TBN, our mission is to use every available means to reach as many individuals and families as possible with the life-changing gospel of Jesus Christ.
Thank you for helping make the gospel of grace go around the world.
Without you, we couldn't do it. God bless you.